Hello everyone. Bonjour, salut, bienvenue de Montréal. Welcome to Montreal by night. This particular scene starts, well, it will start in its initial phases in the presence of one Jacob Burns, the priest of the Apex Pack, whom, upon rising upon one particular evening, will receive news that his girls, his bread and butter, as it were, had a very good turnout over the last few nights. Primarily, one would imagine, due to the miraculous work of one Doctor Zarek Bratovich's doctors. And that's where we shall start the scene as Jacob responds to this news delivered by one of his ghouls and explain to us his train of thought for the present evening.
After Jacob has a sit down with his girls, Madeline informs him that Dr. Zarek had asked if you handled that business of his. I'm not really sure. He was very hush-hush about it. Jacob thinks to himself, business, business, business. Oh, right, right. Hmm. Yeah, thank you, Madeline. I'll get back to him on it. Thank you for delivering the message. Jacob, realizing that everything that is going into the efforts to infiltrate Megadon, he's unfortunately been a little bit backed up on his one end to help out his Ductus, providing and, well, ascertaining at first a doctor's note that he needs. He had no success recently finding just the right type of practitioner within the city of Montreal. But, like Jacob usually takes the route, he prefers the most direct approach. Madeline, I'm going to be out for the evening. You girls have done well, and you look very well. Take the night off if you need. But I will be back. Jacob is thinking over in his head as he leaves the yacht. He gets on his motorcycle, going for a drive, just for a little while's way, helps him think. How to best go about this? He had a conversation not too long ago with one Miss Jones, realizing that his predatory nature can sometimes be, well, to his own detriment, especially for the lives of anyone else involved. It would do no good to have a doctor write a note that wound up dead or tortured. Yes, must play a trick on these mortals. But how? His mind going back to Tamara, he stops and thinks of her and, she's such the affable and amiable quality of a Cainite. One would think that she wasn't quite a vampire, and perhaps that's just the right asset I need. So, Jacob will make his way down to the Parc du Mont Royal. I'm sorry, horrible pronunciation of that.
It's basically Parc du Montreal.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you. My French will come along. Jacob makes his way there, and pulling up into its parking lot, parks his bike, and he makes his way within to the park. He'll stealthily take out his knife and cut an incision into his wrist, letting his blood hit the wind, hoping that this little trick of communication that has become the habit between him and Tamara, if she is around, hopefully she will find him, if him not finding her first.
So, yeah, Tamara is as usually stalking the grounds of the Parc de Montreal. And I guess, even without her Aspect 1 on, she would probably smell something at a certain point. So she'll focus for a moment. And recognizing the smell, she'll make her way to well, basically following the scents. So she'll end up, well, she'll end up like right behind Jacob. This time not in the trees, but just walking on the ground as she recognized the scent. She took no efforts to really hide herself.
I suppose if you're not making the effort to hide yourself, Jacob might just sense the presence that someone is behind him.
She'll step on a tree, or she'll step on she'll let a branch snap deliberately under her feet. So.
Hearing that, Jacob will turn around. Ah, Miss Jones. Caught me by surprise. I was looking for you this evening. How are you?
I noticed, and yeah, I'm well. How are you?
Doing well. He raises his wrist, licking his wound closed. I was wondering if I could borrow you for the evening. There's a little matter that I need some assistance with, and I wouldn't mind the help.
Tamara just looks around for a moment to see if she can see anyone else. Well, I personally don't mind. She seems to actually stop and listen and smell and look around. Yep, I think it's safe to go. Come on.
Very well. Well, before we make our way to where we have to go, let me at least explain to you what it is I have in mind, just to make sure that if you don't think you're up for it, well, no worries. If you have to back down, I'd understand.
For what?
I know that you're a little bit on the shy side. Would you have a problem with going to an emergency room, a hospital?
Why would I be in an emergency room?
I need to get to a doctor. A doctor that I need to write a note. A note not for me, but for Lord Zarek. It's something that... No, go on.
Wait. No, of course he's not ill. Okay, sorry. I'm interrupting. Please, go on.
Lord Zarek had applied for a job at Megadon. He told
What?
me...
Is he insane?
Yeah.
Does he want to die? Because if he wants to
Is
die,
that a
I can make it happen.
rhetorical
That's
question?
easier. I don't know.
You see Jacob shrug. This is Lord Zarek's will. That is his command. I'm just doing my best to help out my Ductus and Packmate. They requested that he provide medical proof, a doctor's note, of this affliction he suffers with as to why he must only work at night.
Well, okay. I think it's stupid. I mean, I told you about the thing with very, very sharp teeth in there. Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to die.
I suppose that it's not quite the most brilliant plan. However, we do need someone on the inside on a day-to-day basis, or in this case, a night-to-night basis. As long as I can provide Lord Zarek with what he needs, perhaps if you were to lend him your advice, then we could turn him away from it. But it would be unseemly for me as his priest to not do what I can for him.
So, you want me to cooperate so that we can give him what he needs? So that we can later try to convince him that he shouldn't do it while we actually deliver the thing that he needs to do it?
Hmm. It's the politics that are convoluted, I understand. But, well, you never know. You might find your own self in the same position with Lady Nice. Believe me, you do want to be helpful towards your ductus, and delivering criticism at times must be delivered through a veil of compliance and, well, concern.
Oh, then I must have missed that memo. But Tamara is kind of like recollecting how she reacted with the entire Danica thing going on. Yes, I can see you laugh there, Jason. um, I don't really get it, but yeah, if you really want to do it that way, sure, sure. I still think if he really has a death wish, that we can make that happen a lot easier.
True, but who knows? Maybe he might learn something that would aid us if his end proved untimely by him being able to infiltrate Megadon.
Your, well, his funeral. But why do we need to go to an emergency room?
Well, I had no luck finding a private practitioner, one that would operate out of his home, and time is of the essence. I don't believe Lord Zarek could put these people off for any much longer without them thinking that he's turned down the position. So time is of the essence, and if I want a doctor, surest place to go is to an ER.
Or you look one up in the phone book?
A phone book? How antiquated. But you're right. You're right. I suppose we
But
could try
no,
that.
I don't want to criticize anything. Don't get me wrong. If you think ER is best, then sure, I don't mind helping out.
Mara, it's fine. That's good advice. If we can't find one, then the ER is our fallback plan.
Okay.
But where would we find a phone book? Out of character, I don't know if there are any phone books like in phone booths in Montreal. I don't know if they have any.
They probably do. In all honesty, Montreal is not all that dissimilar from a lot of American cities. The only difference is that quite a lot of people in it speak French, and they're Canadian.
Okay. Because out of character in New York, there are no more phone books ever. They've been going for decades.
Well, there's probably a... Well, it depends, really. You could roll an intelligence streetwise to find one locally if you'd like.
That'll work. That'll work. Could you please roll me 5 dice?
Okie dokes. And Tamara can roll them as well if she'd like.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh, fuck me. You're on a roll today, my good sir.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
1, 2, 5. So let's say a total of 6 successes. Yeah, with that, you're able to, well, although Tamara's been around Parc de Montreal for quite a long time, she tends to not visit the outskirts of it all that often, unless forced to, of course. But Jacob, using his street smarts, eventually finds a phone booth, a phone booth with, of all things, a phone book inside it.
Okay. Okay. So I guess it took a little bit of time. Jacob and Tamara had maybe been cruising on his bike, looking around the neighborhood, finds his phone booth, and saddles up next to it, goes inside. He'll pop it open with Tamara next to him. All right, all right. Should I look under physicians, doctors, D or P, or what?
General practitioners.
Guess we could start with G. Okay, what should I do? Roll like an investigation or?
No, I'll give you this for free because it'll speed up the scene a little bit more. You're able to find the names, numbers, and addresses of quite a few general practitioners in the local area. Majority of them work by appointment, as you can well see with them, and they do they stay open majority of the daylight hours, but also because it's winter, you've got those extra couple of hours ahead of you. So, yeah, you can find some. You could probably squeeze into an early evening appointment, possibly, but there is always the option of going to the emergency room in these same places.
Okay. Okay. All right. Jacob is going to try his luck with first finding a general practitioner that is close by and might be open, just to squeeze, even if he can't, get the appointment, but at least to meet the doctor. Yeah, he would try to do that first.
Alright, I've rolled 3 luck die, no good result. You find one. It does take you a little while, but you eventually find one of these general practitioners quite close to the St. Catherine Street, as a matter of
Oh, okay, great.
St. Denis or anything like that, but it's close to the same strip. And you find that it is still open late in the afternoon. And there is, you can see some cars parked outside of it, and the doors do seem to be, there is light coming from inside.
Well, Tamara, this is the place. And, oh God, yeah, Jacob's going to look down at your feet. Are you wearing shoes?
Nope.
Well, I guess we could say you're destitute. If
So,
you don't mind.
if you have a brilliant plan, right?
Jacob.
I think we all know the answer to that question.
Oh, Tamara, that's really funny. You jest. But if by plan you mean force, then yes, I have that.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Well, we are going to go inside. We are going to charm him. Maybe I use a little bit of my dominate. And, well, that's the simple part. However, you being a little bit less monstrous as myself, and as pretty as you are, and, well, don't take it to this, but in your ragged appearance, you look more like you need help than I do. So perhaps we can lean on the man's caregiving nature.
You're not really helping very much.
I'll let you do the first impression, and I'll just be there to back you up when we need.
Okay, so what? You want me to look like I need help?
Yes, yes. A matter of fact, here's the idea. You obviously look destitute. Clearly, you have no shoes on your feet this weather. But luck may have it, you have a job interview. Where is that job at? Megadon Corporations. Unfortunately, because of a health affliction, without a doctor's note to explain why you have to work at night, then you'd be stuck on the street, poor, without shoes.
Yeah, because this can't go wrong at all. We can't really go for the idea that you hit me with your mother and I'm just a hobo. if you really want to do the homeless thing, and that'd be easier and
Well,
more believable.
well, then that would involve police and taking of statements and a visit to the doctor's office. Well, more likely an ER with stretchers and ambulances and all of that. I'm sure you wouldn't really like to be enclosed in an ambulance with a couple of people looking over you and trying to attach things to you, now would you?
Well, no, but then you do the dominate thing, right? I can think something else. Not?
Well, how about we try this? And if it doesn't work, I'll hit you with my bike.
Okay. I didn't really mean that you needed to hit me. Okay, fine. Do it your way. Okay.
Jacob will open the door for you. Ladies first.
Tomorrow we'll kind of scurry inwards into the office.
The general practitioners that you walk into, the doors are kind of like automated, so Jacob doesn't really need to. Well, the front doors are automated. The other door inside of it is which heads into the like reception area and waiting area is not automated. But the first thing that hits your nose as you walk into it, as well as the heat in it, because obviously this being winter, the building's heating is put on full blast. No, it's not to the same degree which Magadan Corporation's, Magadan Quebec's offices were, Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
So could you just roll me an a wits intelligence, just really quick.
It's okay. That's something you don't hear every day.
Yeah, it's just for memory thing.
Not a very good memory, but 2 successes anyway.
Okay. First thing that hits your nose as you walk into, and after the heat hits your face, is you can smell a kind of sterile smell, like a solvent smell in the air. And you remember, you get the flashback of that. You get the flashback of that time when you went into that certain floor.
Mm-hmm. Yes. She's just taking a step back, but then kind of she involuntarily took a step back, and then she's like, "Nope, we came here for a mission. We got to do this." Okay, up to the desk.
Okay. And Jacob, you do also smell that solvent smell, but of course, without any prior thing to associate it with. All you're smelling is just, I don't know, maybe they're just doing a little bit of cleaning. Basically, it's sorry?
Like a mop and bucket solvent smell.
Yeah, mop and bucket solvent smell. Basically, you walk into the building, and there's basically a kind of one of those holes in the wall with a reception area. It has kind of like the blinds thing on it, but they're put up at the moment. And on the other side of that is the receptionist, the nurse, and it looks like there's loads of like stacks behind them of you presume to be some sort of prescription medication. There's also a computer there as well. And to your immediate left is the waiting area, which is basically a table with loads and loads of magazines on it, as well as like chairs around there. And there's a handful of people. There's a woman with a a very young child who's she just presently just like coming with it. There's a couple of old people, a few young people, one guy with what looks to be some sort of cloth which has a little bit of blood on it, which he's placed onto his head. And yeah.
And, well, tomorrow we'll walk up to the reception. She kind of knocks or waves or whatever to get the woman's attention.
The nurse almost immediately notices you, and she kind of like she's a little bit surprised at first at your somewhat disheveled appearance, but nevertheless she seems professional at first. Bonjour, hello. How can I help you?
Um, Hi, I'm I need to speak to a doctor.
Okay. Could you just stay in the waiting area and we'll wait until you get the call? And she like takes some sort of like, what looks to be like a ticket stub, which she like gives you, and it has kind of like a number on it.
Okay, thank you.
And can I help you, sir?
Oh, I'm just with the young lady here. I'm her
Okay.
bride.
Uh-huh. Okay. And yeah. So what'd you do then?
Tamara. Now, I can't quite remember exactly what the name of this disease is, but it's very easy.
Do you want to roll in wits intelligence?
Oh, sure, yeah. 6 dice for that.
Barely. You remember it's called porphyria. You don't know exactly why this is significant, but you remember Zarek telling you that the disease that he was considering claiming that he has is called porphyria.
Okay. I believed it was called porphyria.
Okay.
Describe it to the doctor that it hurts to be out in sunlight. It irritates your skin. Something of that nature. It explained to him that it is for a job, and that this note for you, and perhaps it would be best if you introduce yourself as E. Brodovich. You don't have to say that your name is Zarek, but this job nonetheless would be, it would help elevate your status.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think I can do that. I don't know. It doesn't really feel good to. I'm not really used to lying. But what was that disease called?
Porphyria, right? I'm sorry, is that correct? Did I pronounce it right?
Porphyria, yes.
Porphyria.
Porphyria. She's kind of practicing what she needs to say.
And though you have quite a... You have to wait at least 20 minutes until your number gets called up. You hear kind of a buzzer and a voice saying, number, please, before another person goes into one of this adjacent doors. And they say that if some time passes and they eventually come out and speak to the receptionist and leave. And this repeats on and on for at least 20 minutes until you hear, bzz, number 17, please. And out of character, that's your number.
Oh yeah, that. Tamara kind of jumps up, and she's really skitty. She goes towards the door. Walks in. This number, right? Holds up to 17.
You just say it again, I didn't quite get that.
Oh, she holds up the number. It's like, it's this number, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jacob would just ask the receptionist if he could accompany his friend.
Receptionist will just say, yeah, that's perfectly fine. As long as she's given you permission.
Yeah.
He'll smile and nod to the receptionist. Thank you very much, ma'am.
And if I could take a slight storyteller liberty and just say that you two go in through the adjacent door, which will take you into a kind of a corridor, and you'll eventually go down to this one door, which leads into the ER physician's office. Now you're going to hate me for this. And the doctor is presently like sat at his desk, and he is like typing away, type, and then he looks up towards you with a kind of a grin, which is not all that dissimilar to this one, except less troll-worthy. And he says, "Hi, how can I help you? Did you break a leg in 3 places? Well, I'd recommend that you don't go to those places anymore." Please sit down. No seriousness.
I did not break my leg. If I would have broken my leg, I wouldn't be able to walk in here.
Mm-hmm. I see. Said the blind man who couldn't see at all. In all seriousness, though, please sit down.
Tamara sits down, just like sitting like at the tip of the chair. Doesn't really look up at the doctor.
So, what can I help you with, ma'am?
I need a doctor's note.
Okay, that we can do. What is this doctor's note for?
I need to start working soon in a place, and I need to show them that I cannot go into the sunlight because it just irritates my skin a lot.
Mm-hmm. Right, I just need to load up your file. Could you please tell me the name, please?
Name? Oh, Bratovich.
Okay, Bratovich, and what's your first name?
Zara.
Zarek. Well, let's have a look die. Oh. Hmm. Well, it's good to see. Well, all things considered, Mr. Bratovich.
Mister? No.
Well, it's what I'm looking at here. But I'm not one to pry. You can just update these things. Anyway.
Mr. Bradovich decided to become Mrs. Bradovich, if you understand, Doctor. I'll make that a lie. Manipulation subterfuge.
How many dice, sir?
7.
You jammy bastard. And with fucking persuasion as well.
The BS roll. Yes.
Yes, you fucking aced that. To be fair, though, this wasn't going to be a very high difficulty one anyway, but well done. The dice gods are trolling me. I'm trying to troll you guys, and they're fucking trolling me. Fucking cunts.
We're not out of the dungeon yet.
Yes, you're not out of the dungeon yet. The doctor just kind of like looks over towards Jacob and nods his head. You know, he's probably, to be fair, he probably has done a few of these kind of surgery things before, but who knows? Anyway, it's kind of against the Hippocratic oath to really pry into these things unless it concerns medical. So he just kind of like smiles and nods, and just starts like typing away. Right, a doctor's note for. And what was the condition again? Sorry.
Porphyria?
Okay. And he starts like typing away and presses a button, and then you start hearing a as a little document is printed out of a nearby printer, which he summarily takes off and gets his pen, signs it, dates it, and then he hands it over to you. You are Mrs. Bradovich, and the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Nod to the doctor. Thank you, sir. What's
You're
the matter?
Samara kind of grabs the note and she goes, yeah, thank you very much. So you can go now, right? She looks at Jacob.
Looking back at the doctor, I think everything is all in order.
Of course.
There.
Unless there's anything else that you feel you wish to bring to light for me.
No, I think that would suffice. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. All part of the service.
My wife's already out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob will trail behind her.
Okay. You exit out of the. You exit out of the doctor's office and you head back into the reception area. And you walk out the general practitioner's office.
Congratulations, Tamara. You did it.
Here's your note.
Thank you. Jacob will fold it up and put it in his breast pocket. Well, I believe this deserves some celebration. Would you like me to take you out for dinner?
That place smelled weird.
Oh? How so? It might have just been the pine sol.
No, it smelled the same as in the office, you know.
In what office? I mean,
Yeah. You know, where I was dressed up. She kind of looks around to make sure that no one is really hearing it. It's starting to become kind of a weird conversation there.
Jacob will take that into note and consideration. Well, come, let's move ourselves away from this place, and he'll entreat you to get on the bike. He'll even drive you all the way back to the park. Once we park and I let you off the bike. So, what exactly was it that seemed so different or similar?
Well, it was just a smell. It smelled the same as. Actually, which floor exactly was it?
It was the one where you met the nasty thing
Okay.
that asked if you were.
If I were food for a snake, yeah.
Yes.
So, the thing where you know the floor where I found that weird thing. You know I walk on two legs but have a horrible beak full of nasty, pointy, sharp teeth.
Well,
Same smell.
we could look into that another evening. A matter of fact, you should appraise your pack of that situation, and I'll do the same with mine.
I wonder if it's the same at other GPs or other places where people are like. I mean, they were studying like in the office building. That they were studying like stuff with DNA and everything. So they were doing something with medicines. So if it smells there, never mind. I'm ranting. It's just wondering.
Very well could be a matter of they share similar industrial products, especially if they're in the same field. But one thing that's worthy of note, I'll make sure to visit the doctor again sometime. I'll poke around. You've done more than enough, Tamara. It is appreciated, and you have my thanks.
Okay. Okay, sure. And wish Zarek good luck with his suicide.
I'll make sure to pass it along.
Bye then.
Have yourself a good evening. And again, if there's anything I can do for you in the future, as a show of gratitude, let me know.
Okay. Tomorrow, squeeze off into the park.
Jacob, bike and take off.
And, I guess we can end scene.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we can call this a scene. So we hope that you and everyone else who has been watching this has enjoyed it, and we hope to see you all again very, very soon. Au revoir, mesdames et messieurs.